That's the real way of like getting prepared for a paper. Right. Right. Name of the part of this atom labeled A. It's called nucleus. Right. Name of the group that contains this element. Right. So you now it's not the answer only important. The way it was decided. Right. So you check the last shell electrons. Last shell electrons. So how many are there? Two. So the number of the group, right? So it's two. Number of the period that contains this element. Number of shells. We have three. Right? You can mark along this. And when you have a table like this, I have asked you to like see the charges. This is zero charge, neutral atom. You have three protons, right? And 10 electrons. That means this is a +3 ion. This is a zero atom and zero atom, right? And also you can see same number of protons, different number of neutrons. That means isotopes. These are isotopes. Here the mass number of W. W mass number is addition of these two, right? These two. So then it's 4. Give a reason why X has +3 charge. Give a reason why. You can say there are 3 more protons than electrons. That's only one reason they are asking. If they give like 2 marks or 3 marks, they give 2 or 3 marks, what did I answer? 2 or 3 marks, you have to tell protons are positively charged. Electrons are negatively charged. You have to write that. Protons are positively charged, electrons are negatively charged. Therefore, 3 more protons means 3 plus charge more, right? Some other questions are. Explain why Y and Z are isotopes. You say same number of protons, different number of neutrons. Different number of neutrons. You might have written same atomic number, different mass number, accepted, but always try to write that in terms of subatomic particles. මේ paper එකට මට chromatography දාන්න බැරි වුණා. ඒක ගෙදරින් තව chromatography උඹට බලන්න. But I put fractional distillation because yesterday when I was talking about the fractional distillation, I saw some of you are not very much familiar with it.
Chromatography question came.
Yeah, but still it can appear in paper 2 as well. Right? Okay. Give the name of this method of separation. So this is fractional distillation. Right? This you have these are the beads in fractionating column. It's called fractionating column. In fractionating column is where liquids with different boiling points get separated. Liquids with different boiling points get separated. Name the piece of apparatus label X, Y, Z. X,
Thermometer.
thermometer, Y, condenser, Z, beaker. X,
So the brown
thermometer.
thing is the flask, right?
Huh?
Brown thing is the flask.
You can say round bottom flask or the flask. Right?
No, so there was another question in the paper also regarding
Okay.
fractional.
Give a physical test. Was it there in the paper one? අයියෝ අපරාධෙ මේකත් කරන්න දෙන්න කලින්. Give a physical test that the teacher could do to find ethanol produces pure. If you want to find a liquid is pure, and it's a physical test also. Ethanol in the pull water in the pull what you have to check, right? Heat and measure the what? Measure the boiling point. Solid එකක් නම් melting point. A pure substance should have a fixed boiling point. There should be a fixed boiling point. They might have given at the beginning, right? Here and then, boiling point again. Question again, it should be a fixed boiling point. Boiling point range at it should start boiling at a constant. Again, ethanol should be collected at a constant temperature. Yeah, how do you remember? My goodness, you can remember ethanol boiling point. That's superb. Right. Huh? Something extraordinary from grade 9 student. Don't tell me that you are very interested in ethanol, that's why you remember 70, 80. Right? Okay. This question is about the gases in atmosphere. You too should be coming to the class very often. Online and the
Me?
Yeah.
Why
You
me?
too. Because you guys are the only two people talking. මේ අනිත් අය කතා කරන්නේ හරිද මට කම්මැලි දෙනවා එතකොට right දුගානේ තේරුණාද නැද්ද කියලා මූණෙන් පෙන්නන්නේ නැහැ පොල්ලෝ ටික නම් ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ පොල්ලෝ ටික හොඳ නම් වැඩේ කරනවා මේ ගර්ල්ස් එක මට මති ලකුණු නෙමෙයි මති ඉන්ටරැක්ෂන් එක මති right ඔය දෙන්න එන්න ඕන ටිකට දෙන්න ආව අඩු ගන්න මොකක්ද මොන කතාවක් හරි අහනවනේ right okay which of these gases has the lowest percentage by volume in atmosphere මොකද answer එක අකල කියන්නේ මොකද answer
Okay.
ආගන් නෙමෙයි ආගන් වැරදි පුතේ ආගන් 1% විතර තියෙනවා carbon dioxide 0.04 රැවටුණා ඕගොල්ලෝ මේක 78 අයියෝ oxygen 21%. When copper 2 carbonate is heated, copper oxide, copper 2 oxide, carbon dioxide, the name of this reaction. Heat karama compound එක break වෙලා. What do you call it?
Decomposition.
Decomposition reaction. What decomposition? Thermal decomposition. Your copper carbonate color is green. Copper 2 oxide color is black. Therefore, which color change occurs when copper 2 carbonate heated? Green to black. Right, give the chemical equation for this reaction I already gave. Right? 1 mark. The student uses his apparatus to find the percentage of oxygen in sample. The volume of gas syringe at the start, at the end, 27. Very simple. You subtract that to, you find it's 73. That's the volume of what? Oxygen in the sample. But it doesn't mean it is a, you can divide that by 100 and put it into what? 100 in order to find percentage. Right? Percentage you need to find the total volume of the initial system or the initial volume. We had 100 in the tube plus we had 280 in the, syringe, 100, the rest of the part you have 280. Therefore, you should have got, what's the percentage? Hello, what's the percentage? Huh? 19.2. 19.2. වැරදි උත්තරේ. 19.2 කියලා ලියන්න බෑ. Two significant figures. හරි මේකේ answer එක 19.2 වෙන්න ඇති. හැබැයි ඔයා දෙන්න ඕනේ කීයද? 19%. 19%. Two significant. Be careful, right? Okay. So 1 mark is for that. So 1 mark is for this. 1 mark is for this. And 1 mark for 19.2. And for two significant figures, 1 mark. Mark is there, are important. So you can see such a simple calculation. 4 marks, quite a lot. Right? So be very careful when you are like answer. Explain why an increasing amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is likely to cause a problem for the environment. Yeah, I'll give you the answer. Right? Let's try to write this as an in detail answer. Right? So you have to first say carbon dioxide is a
Greenhouse gas.
greenhouse gas. Greenhouse gas. Okay. Suppose that you haven't written that. That's okay. Or suppose the answer is like 3 or 4. You have to tell what is meant by greenhouse gas. Right? It absorbs IR reflected from Earth's surface. Reflected from Earth's surface and re-radiates back to Earth. Back to the Earth. You get it? Very important statement. So this will give you global warming. More carbon dioxide gives you global warming. Or you should have said the temperature of the Earth increases unnecessarily. Aren't you feeling that these days very badly?
It was not this hot last year, sir. Because this year, so we can normally sleep without the AC, but even in like hot nights, on like hot nights, but this year we had to like use the AC on.
We are still sleeping without AC.
Hmm?
We are sleeping without AC. අපේ ගෙදර AC නෑ නිදාගන්න. ඔයාලා කුමාරට AC තියෙනවද?
No, so we only have it in our brother's room.
okay. That's okay. AC එක තියෙන ක්ලාස් එකට විතරයි.
Oh, isn't it hot, sir?
Huh?
Isn't it hot?
Yeah. But anyway, see with us. But good news. I have made this class so integrated.
What?
With that, we enjoy it so energy.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, sir. Did you find out the answer to the dial thing?
Which one? No. I don't think. If you ask is on the random stupid question.
Hmm.
Okay, question number 4. Them are total marks number. Okay. Reaction lithium solid, water liquid, and this is aqueous and hydrogen reaction. Give 2 observations made when lithium is added to water. Physics. Have them, if they have said that you can't write, this is it's over the surface.
I wrote it starts moving around.
Correct.
So they had also this exact same question in the paper.
Was it?
Yeah.
Ayyo. We should have done this yesterday, no?
Except for the equation, I think we had the give 3 observations. We did 3 observations.
අපි මේකෙත් තිබ්බනේ ඊයේ පේපර් එකෙත් තිබ්බනේ. ඊයේ පේපර් එකෙත් තිබ්බා හැබැයි මම දුන්නා. Okay. And also can get smaller, lithium gets smaller. Yeah, white trail. ඒකයි ඕගොල්ලෝ ළමයි මම මේ කියන හොඳට අහලා මේ අපේ මේ ස්ටුඩන්ට් කමියුනිටි එකයි පේරන්ට් කමියුනිටි එකයි මිනිස්සු රවට්ටලා තියෙන්නේ. People have life, you know, fooled our parent and school community. That's why the kids are going for tuition without any like limits. They're going for tuition for every single subject. And same subject they go for several tuition. They go for 4 hour, 5 hour tuitions. For subjects where you can nicely finish within just 2 hours doing it, the whole syllabus in the 1.5 years. Right? And your marks definitely lifted once the theory is properly done. Then few exam question papers done with you, right, will be enough. Right? In the pursuing again, cramming classes, me seminar යන්න හදන්න එපා. ඉස්කෝලෙන් දාන ඒවා හැර. Right? For 2026 ළමයිගෙන් අහන්න. I didn't do a single extra class unnecessarily put. I did only 2 hours. 6 ළමයිගෙන් අහන්න 2 hours on Wednesday. Right? By the end of January, the whole syllabus was over. Now we have started revision. But we revision කරන්න තව ඕන තරම් time තියෙනවා. Model papers උත් පහක් කරනවා ඒකලත් එක්ක. Right? And that will be good enough. Right? මොව්වට time space කරගෙන tuition වලම දවස ගෙවන්න ready කරන්න එපා. parents අපිට කියන්න sir කිව්වා කියලා. ඊට වැඩිය හොඳයි sports කරන්න. Matches කරන්න. Right? ඒවා කරන්න. That adds a lot of may value to your school life, right? Sport like dancing or music or whatever, right? School club and societies will join and right?
Because otherwise you won't have like any good memories to look back.
Exactly, yes. Right? Those that's very useful, not only good memory, useful memory. Right? Tuition on a limited time. Effective tuition එකකට ගිහින් වැඩි ඉවරයක් කරගන්න. මේ කියන්න හැදුවේ දැන් ඔයාලට පේනවනේ මේ question එක 3-4 වතාවක් ඔයා ඇහැට පුරු වුණාට පස්සේ ගොඩාක් ස්ටඩි කරේ නැත්නම් මතක හිටිනවා answers. මේ Excel වලට බොරුවට දැන් බය වෙන්නේ. හැබැයි මේ question එක theory හරියට පාඩම් කරන්නේ නැතුව question එක කරාට වැඩක් නැහැ. ඒක තමයි ඔය ලොකු classes වල යන බොරුව. Theory is strong නැති වුණාට exam එකට කලින් question ටිකක් කරලා exam එකට පොඩ්ඩක් යවනවා. කරාට question එකේ answer පොඩක් මතකයි ඒකෙන් කොට යනවා. ආපු දවස් දෙක තුනක් යනකොට ඔක්කොම මතක නැහැ. Right? It's called cramming. Not good. We are not cramming. We are just doing theory nicely, right? And doing practice 1 or 2 papers if you want before the exam. But before the main exam, there is an intensified revision done. Taking on 10 or 10 hours. Okay? හරිද? දැම්ම plan කරගන්න ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ time එක. බොරුවට බය වෙන්න එපා. කොම්බෝරේ ලුකුරි සෙමින එකක් යනවා ළමයි 500ක් විතර යනවා. Why not? We are here. ඊට වැඩිය ලස්සනයි ඔයා ගෙදර ඉන්න පොඩ්ඩක් ටෙක්ස්ට් බුක් එක රීඩ් කරලා පාඩ තේරිච්ච නැති ටික ආපහු පාඩම් කරන්න. අතලම එක්සැම්පල් දෙයි මෙයා ෆිසික්ස් අද ෆිසික්ස් පේපර් එක දුන්නේ. ආව ෆිසික්ස් අයියෝ තාපි කරන්න බෑ. ඒක කරන්න මැත්ස් පේපර් එක මැත්ස්. මම කොහරි ඔන්න මේ මාක්ස් එක බලන්න ටෙක්ස්ට් බුක් එක ක්ලික් බලන්න දැන් චෙක් කරලා දාන්න. හරි. දැන් මට බලන්න. උඹයි බලලා ඉන්න. ඊට පස්සේ මට කියන්නේ තේරුම් ගන්න. ඊටම දාන්නේ. මම අනේ what's the next book එක බලන්න. I can do that. අර ඔයගලට අන්න ඒක නැහැ කොට කවුරු වගේ අර කියන්න බෑ දැන් මට ඉඳගෙන බලන මේක කොට පන්න මානසික පිටවට කොට ජීවනෝ කියලා කියන්න කවුරුත් නැහැ. හරි. ඒ ප්‍රශ්නේ තමයි ඔයගලන්ට. හරි. But I'll tell you in the class. So remember. Lithium doesn't. That's sodium and potassium. That's sodium and potassium.
So why does it turn into a ball?
Because its melting point is high. Melting point decreases down the road.
Oh.
And
Melting
you
and boiling point decreases. No, we know.
both decreases.
Yeah, that's
both decrease.
melting and boiling point. Alkaline metals you're talking about.
That's right, yeah.
And then the softness increases, atomic radius increases, reactivity increases.
Yes. Completely correct. But you are telling things which are not connected. Atomic radius and reactivity are not connected to the physical properties. Okay.
No,
I know you saying all the properties. Yes. Okay. Right. Right. Good. Yes. Yeah. I need this. Hey, darling. I'll be video कर रहा है. मैं कौन है कि मैं group one देखी. Have a small piece of black color lithium में so what the guy? You join there. Fine. Time में कितनी पता है मैं. Okay. Hard you have time but time. The reaction produces hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas. Gas volume. දැක්ක ගම මතක් වෙන්න ඕනේ දාන්න මොකද්ද? N equals V over 24. Right? And show that mass of lithium added is between 0.2 and 0.3 grams. यानी lithium දාපු mass එක කොහෙන්ද කියන්නේ? So you find the moles of hydrogen. Moles of hydrogen. Moles of hydrogen will be 375. They have given 224,000 cm3. So you divide it by 24,000. Mama got the 24 dm3. dm3 per mole. Here the answer is 0 point. Not here. 0. Exactly. ඒක තමයි 2 කියලා දාන්න බෑ. That's wrong. 0.0 1 5 156 2 25 කම්මැලි වෙන්න එපා මේ ටික ලියන්නකො අනේ 0.02 දැම්ම කියන්නේ that's end of your calculation. There's a big rounding off you have done. Okay. So then you need to find lithium. No, so you have to apply lithium to hydrogen stoichiometry. Was it 2:1? was given at the back, at the bottom. Top. Right? 2:1. So lithium key we don't know. Hydrogen got 0.015625. So then the moles of lithium will be double of this. I thought key then again 0.0312. Yeah, 125. That's lithium moles. Then how to mass second? So you apply N equals M over capital M. 0.03125 M. Lithium 7. Yeah, lithium 7. So then M is equal to 0.2. Exactly? No. Okay. My gut feeling gives better answers than your calculated answer. 287. Right? Okay. So the mass is in between 0.2 to 0.3. So 1 mark for the moles of hydrogen, 1 mark for moles of lithium, 1 mark for the mass. All right, part B. Give one observation that is different from small piece of potassium instead of lithium. Definitely, potassium gives what?
Open explosive reaction.
Lilac flame money and a lazy maker. Right? Or so you can say give what? Explosive reaction. Explosive reaction. And also it turns into a ball. It's correct. Your lithium doesn't. Right. Explain why potassium is more reactive than sodium. What's the first thing you are going to say? Lithium has only 2 shells. Potassium have how many shells? 4 shells. Right. Therefore, the last electron is away from the nucleus, less attracted to the nucleus, easy to remove. Right. So, my mark said, you must have said atom of potassium is larger than atom of lithium. Or potassium has more number of electron shells than lithium. Right? Then you say, therefore the last electron is more away from the nucleus in potassium. Last electron is less attracted to the nucleus in potassium. So it's easier to remove the electron in potassium. So out of 3 of those 4 statements will score. Yeah.
Potassium is an alkaline metal and they increase in reactivity as they move further down. Potassium and lithium both have one electron in their outer shell, which makes it easy for them to react with other elements. The atomic radius also increases the further down you go. Distance weakens the strength between the.
Until the atomic radius increases. Whatever you wrote on stuff before that won't get any single mark. But is it wrong?
No, it's not wrong, but like in this question, it's wrong.
Yes. That's how sometimes at home, when the husband is asking question from wife, that's how the wife is answered. Give all the possible surface. Then finally, only the important point will be explained. Right? Carry on. I think that's the way we meant it. No? Right?
So that is a men's day, you know.
Okay,
That is men's
right.
Distance weakens the strength between the nucleus and the last electron, so it is easy for potassium to react with the other metals as it has a bigger atomic radius than lithium.
Easy to remove the electron, did you say?
No, easier for the potassium to react with other metals. What I said about easy to remove the electron, I said this makes it easier for them to react with other elements.
That's the problem. You have said the most important thing. Easy to remove the electron, right? You get 2 out of 3. Try to be specific. Specific. Okay. I didn't discriminate. Suggest the state of aesthetic at 55 degrees Celsius. The way it goes down, I make a complete container. Right? So this is a gas. And chlorine is a gas, bromine is a liquid. Right? And chlorine is a pale green or even green, all right. Suggest the state of astatine, it's a solid one because down the group, the melting points and boiling points, huh?
Increase.
Decrease in element, yes. Red, okay.
Orange is brown.
Red, brown, red, brown, red, brown. Orange, brown.
I use
Other liver?
orange brown.
Samar, okay, correct.
Sorry, not.
Only. Or orange, bromine aqueous. What? Red, malu mark scheme का लव करो दे. Ready, they don't have to samar it okay करो. But it's not like red. It's not like red.
Red, brown, and red.
No, yeah. Red, brown and red are completely different. Huh? Right? Okay. Part C. A sample of bromine has the make a question with this questions they have funny. Yeah. You had a chlorine question because they okay. Come on, right? Calculate the relative atomic mass. That's 42 into 70. Don't tell me the similar question was there in the paper 1 2 divided by 100. Make up in last day. Yesterday paper I get it for me. Hey, Karlane. What the crazy guy? Me, other Karlan. EMA question. You multiply the percentage by the isotopic mass and do it again. And divide the total by 100 to find the relative atomic mass. What was the answer, you guys? 80.16. Where are the uttare? Where are the answer? 80.2. 80.2. 18 3 significance. Better than don't. You should go wrong in the class. When mistaking a window in class. Then the end of it. Right, D. Another question. It's similar but different. Sample of chlorine contains 0.75 of fluorine atom and 0.25 of chlorine atoms. The table gives relative molecular masses for each different diatomic molecule of chlorine. The table also gives probability of having molecules in the sample. Oh. You understood? Oh,
Just use
good.
rest.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, not bad, not bad. Okay. Yeah, you follow the pattern, no? Wait, chlorine 35, probability 0.25. Chlorine 35, probability 0.2. So overall probability is what? To have two CM 37, probability very come. So 35 was the probability. 0.75 into 0.75. What's the answer? 5625. May I? Carefully. 0.75 into 0.25 into
Into.
2.
Into.
Yeah, into.
Oh, I just wrote
Into
0.
I say okay, then they can know.
I wrote 0.75 times 0.25 plus 0.75 times 0.2. Right.
Same thing. Okay. Huh? ඒක ආවේ නෑනේ. හරි. එතන මොකක්ද උත්තරේ?
375.
0.375. අනිත් එක පුතේ ඕකේ මෙහෙම කරන්න තිබ්බනේ වාට. මේ දෙකේ probability දෙක add කරාම හරිද? When you add the probability of these two, subtract from one, it should be the probability of that rest. Like probability of the addition එක 1 නේ. Probability. You don't know. You guys never knew it. Okay. Okay. Don't know. Okay. No need to know that. Right? You knew it. Yeah. Come again. You get on it. Over Maxwell kind of probability. At Maxwell is the thing. Probability මොකක් හරි event එකක තියෙන එක එක situations වල probability එකේ addition එක 1. example එකක් විදියට මම මෙතන cake එකක් ගෙනාවා කියලා හිතන්න. with 4 pieces. Kansana is going to eat 3. So probability of Kansana eating cake pieces here 3 out of 4.
Oh, we had this in
But right, probably. And how the answer?
Yes.
Yes, the answer probability of eating cake is 1 over 4. Then ඔය තමයි events දෙක තියෙන situation. Situations දෙක event එක. You add two probabilities, how much is that? 1 over 4 plus 3 over 4. Here, 1 over 4 is 0.25, 3 over 4 is 0.75. Add කරන්න 1. මොකක් හරි event එක, if you have several situations with probability values, when you add all those probabilities, then finally you get one unity. Therefore, when you add these two and subtract, you get this. Maths only to provide it in Harith. Come on, make it up. Ultra smart Kerala. Harith. So the answer is 0. Equal probability of a molecule with the molecular mass of within 5, 6, 2, 5.
So I could
Explain. Okay.
this one.
Make it?
Yeah.
ඒක තමයි මේක explain කරන්නේ.
Yeah, but
Because you have two ways of having 72. So you have to multiply this by 2 in order to get there.
oh,
There are two ways of having 35, 70, 35, 37. 35, 37 වෙන්න පුළුවන්, 37, 35 වෙන්න. Okay. තේරුණේ හරි පොඩක් ආගන්න දැන් මේ බබාලා තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ මම ඉතුරු ටික ඔක්කොම එක්ස්ප්ලেইন කරලා මෙතනට එන්නද හරි මේක එක්ස්ප්ලেইন කරලා ඉතුරු මේ කැලේ තේරුම් නැතුනම ඔයාට පේපර් එකේ ඉතුරු ටිකක් තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ මගේ වෙනවා ඒක වෙනවා හරිද therefore don't get stuck in any area that you don't understand right ඒක තියගන්න finish everything else and come back. Explain how displacement reactions involving halogens halide provide evidence for the trend in reactive states. Include examples. 5 marker. Give an example like this. When chlorine is added to sodium bromide and when displacement reaction, chlorine is at sodium bromide. Chlorine will become sodium chloride. It will become the ion. And bromide is converted to bromine. So you have to say chlorine is more reactive halogen. This is less reactive halogen. This is less reactive halogen. Right? So what do you have to say? The more reactive halogen, no. The more reactive halogen displaces less reactive halogen from its halide. Tell me. From halide. Right? Okay. So if a halogen is added to a halide, if there is an indication of a reaction, that means the added halogen is more reactive than the displaced. A statement argument. Right? Where arguments they come together. Example, chlorine added sodium bromide. Even sodium chloride bromide. How example again? Chlorine added to sodium. Sodium use कर रहे हैं कि तेरू मन है reaction है chlorine added to sodium sodium තියෙනවා ඒක වෙනස් කරන්න එපා chlorine added to sodium iodide තේරුම් ගන්න බලන්නකෝ chlorine ව දාන්නේ කාටද iodide salt එකකට sodium iodide මොකද product එක sodium chloride and iodine අනේ මතක නැත්නම් දරුවෝ පාඩම් කරන්න මේකේ පුතේ අපි වීඩියෝස් බලලා ඉගෙන ගත්තේ displacement reactions ලස්සනට අර grid එක වගේ මතකද තව example එකක් තව example එකක් නේද halogen එකකින් පටන් ගන්නකො මේ halogen displacement sodium පගුලකින් පටන් ගන්නෙ මොකද
helium
දැන් helium
no oh sorry
halogens ටිකේ නම් ටික කියනවා ඉස්සෙල්ලා chlorine bromine iodine chlorine අපි use කරන්නේ two reactive දැන් chlorine ව දැම්මා sodium bromide sodium iodide වලට තව halogen එකක් ගන්න දැන් chlorine ට පස්සේ ඉන්නේ කවුද bromine so you put bromine into what sodium අනිත් ඇසටින් යන්නේ මොකටද මිනිස්සු sodium iodide ට දාන්න chloride ට දාලා වැඩක් නැහැ chlorine is more reactive so bromine to sodium iodide you get sodium chloride and iodine හරිද අයියෝ right ආ ස්ටේට්මන්ට්ස් ටික ලියන්න මම ලකුණු 5 එන විදිහ කියන්න තියන්සත් මෙලෝ මේ common sense එකක් නැතුව එකපාරට දෙනවා උත්තරනේ
no so I just remembered helium being on top of the normal gases
it's halogens
had a no
නෑ හරි helium noble gases තමයි අපි දැන් අහන්නේ එතකොට හැමතිස්සෙම මේ answers දෙනකොට බලන්න ඔයාගේ periodic table එක දිහා හරි මම mark scheme points ටිකත් read කරන්න ලියා ගන්න ටක් ගාලා reactivity of halogens decreases down the group යාගට mark scheme points කොහොමද ඒගොල්ලෝ කියන්නේ reactivity of halogens. Reactivity of halogens decreases down the group. Second, displacement reactions. Displacement reactions happen when more reactive halogen displaces less reactive halogen. When more reactive halogen displaces less reactive halogen. Third point, less reactive halogen from a solution of halides. From a solution of halides. From a solution of halides. එක reaction එකක් හරි දෙන්න ඕනේ මේ වගේ. අද color change එක කියන්නේ. Sodium, bromide and fluorine together is a colorless mixture. But bromine aqueous is orange. මෙයා තමයි orange. So the colorless solution goes orange. Colorless solution goes orange. Colorless solution goes orange. And in question like this, you have to tell if you put less reactive, make it a special case, you have to say you put less reactive element halogen to halide of more reactive halogen, no reaction is taking place. That's the evidence. එහෙම point එකක් ලියන්න. Okay. When a less reactive example එකක් එක්ක කියන්න. Right. All good, right? This is question about the metallic structure. Explain why metals are malleable. Cation layers can slide past. What are my answers? Slide past. Slidage. Explain why metals are good conductor of electricity. Delocalize electrons. Delocalize delocalized electrons can move across the structure. The lattice or the metal. Delocalized electrons කියන එක definitely තියෙන්න ඕනේ වචන. You have forgotten things, now it's time to call and study at home. Okay? Free moving electrons එක මාර්ක් එක. Free moving electron කියලා මම ගන්නක නෑනේ. මම use කරලා තියෙන වචන මොනවාද? Delocalized electrons. The electrons which are not in bonding are called what? Delocalized electrons, and they move. That's why two methods of obtaining metal compound are electrolysis and extraction of using carbon. carbon extraction එක කරන්න පුළුවන් those who are below carbon only. Above carbon, you can't use carbon extraction. So you have to use electrolysis. Explain without giving practical reason, more suitable to get iron from iron 3 oxide. Iron 3 oxide getting iron no ගන්න හොඳම මොකද්ද? Carbon or carbon monoxide reduction. Reason එක මොකද්ද? Carbon is more reactive than iron, so it can displace iron. That's the answer. We call it carbon extraction. React iron 3 oxide with carbon or carbon monoxide. The reason is carbon is more reactive than iron, so it can displace iron from its compounds. Right, a student has solution of iron 2 sulfate, iron 3 sulfate. Describe a chemical test. ERP list එකක් ලියුවා මතකද? list එකක් ලියුවා chemical test, cation test, anion test. ආවද අද? ආවද? පාඩම් කරන්න කිව්වනේ. කරලා ගිය අයට හොඳයි, නැති අයට ඉතින් කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. The best way to test Fe2 plus and Fe3 plus is to put sodium hydroxide. Make a name answer එක මම නිකන් ලියන්න. You put sodium hydroxide. Put sodium hydroxide. Put sodium hydroxide aqueous. Right? This will give green precipitate. How the Fe2 plus solution. Better. Explain කරලා යන්න පුතේ ඔයාට ලකුණු දෙන්නේ තරහ වෙන්න එපා. වැරද්දකට නෙමෙයි කියන්නේ Edex ඔයගේ උත්තර ගණන් ගන්න නැහැ. හරි? Our smart answers හරියට ලියන්න ඕනේ chemistry වල උත්තර. ගණන් ගන්න නැහැ ඒගොල්ලෝ.
So what is the difference between Edex? Sorry.
I'm not comparing it something else. I'm saying how Edex examinations need students to be specific and informative in their answers. They don't give marks for general statements. Right? This will give what? Red brown precipitate. Red brown precipitate. Yep.
Oh,
Maruka.
yeah. I think the
Sorry?
writing the answer for Fe2 is a mistake.
May reactions they ahala nahi, right? If you say green precipitate is from iron 2 sulfate, red brown precipitate from iron 3 sulfate.
So,
Yes.
so you put hydrogen.
Hydrochloric acid hydrochloric acid carbonate testing වලට. මේ අයියා ආවේ නැහනේ. For everything? No.
I think there's any other acids.
HCl දාන්නේ to test carbonate and sulfates. මෙතන sulfate එක test කරන්න කියලා නෑ යා. දෙකේම sulfate තියෙනවනේ. ඒකින්ද වෙන්නේ නැති වට hydrochloric acid වලට. That's for sulfate test. The two solutions have the difference of iron 2 and iron 3. Iron 2 iron එකයි iron 3 iron එකයි තමයි difference එකක් ගන්න. ඒකට දාන්න sodium hydroxide. Cations were precipitated with sodium hydroxide. ඔයාලා ළඟදී join උනේදී මේගොල්ලන්ත් එක්ක මෙහෙ ලොකු practical එකක් කරා මතකද? මොකද ඒක කෙනාට individually add කරන්න කියලා කවන්න නැහැ පාඩම් කරා පුළුවන් වෙනවා හරි.
This is slightly outdated, but what's like the academic difference between Edex and Cambridge?
Paper structure is different. Cambridge has MCQ paper also, much tougher. The syllabus wise 85% same. In Excel, you have some of the parts little more advanced in explanation and practical side little more advanced. Advanced in the sense practical reason. Cambridge, you really have practicals. Like you have to do practicals. They have alternative practical paper කියලා paper එකක් තියෙනවා ලියන්න. මේකේ තියෙන practicals එක.
So which is like
එහෙම වෙනසක් නැහැ. Whatever in both syllabi, the candidate has to accomplish the competency levels that the syllabus specs. ඒ කියන්නේ යා syllabus එකේ කියනවා මේ අපේ syllabus එක කරන ළමයා confident, critical thinking, specific, correct scientific attitude එක තියෙන ළමයෙක් වෙන්න ඕන. At the end of the learning of this. Mishap, wrong attitude, too general, easy going, science, එහෙම නිකන් serious ගන්න නැති. එහෙම attitude එකකින් මේ කරන්න බැහැ කියන ඒගොල්ලෝ කියනවා. So we are trying to develop your qualities according to their requirements. Correct, let's go. Chemical name for rust. Hydrated iron oxide. Hydrated iron 3 oxide. Explain how painting prevents iron from rusting. It forms a protective layer around the surface. Okay, that barrier protection, giving barrier protection. Product explain that. So that oxygen and water are not in contact with iron.
yeah, they gave discussion also.
I remember we had this question yesterday also. Make up the steel is made of iron and carbon. Make it make තමයි important. Correct? Explain how the difference in malleability of pure iron and steel are important. Make it a 5 mark make a big question
6 months.
6 mark highly possible to appear in the papers. Well, අපිට steel ගැන අපි වැඩි කතා කරේ නැහැ. Right? Now the recurrent question steel is made from iron and carbon. Explain how difference in malleability of pure iron. I told you pure metals are too malleable, too soft to use in these everyday applications where the strength is required. Right? High carbon steel affects the uses of these material. High carbon steel means you have put carbon in order to increase the strength of steel. Right? So then monado make uttar the first point steel is an alloy of carbon and iron. අහන්නේ users වලට මේගොල්ලොන්ගේ කොහොමද මේගොල්ලෝ apply කරන්නේ? මම ඉස්සෙල්ලා කිව්වේ ඒක. Pure iron is too malleable. Pure iron is too malleable. Too malleable කියන්නේ මේ sodium වගේ malleable නෑ හරිද? But you can't use it in machineries, right? You can use it for like car bodies where you have to make different shapes of things, right? So pure iron can be used to gates, railings, nails, wires, chains, cookware, anything, right? At the end of the day, pure iron can be used for gates, nails, wires, their uses. It's the third mark. Now you have to tell why steel is less malleable. You have to say due to the presence of different size atoms in steel, the sliding of layers is not easy. Clear on it. Steel is much harder. Steel is much harder. As it contains different sized atoms. Different size atoms. So the cation layers cannot slide easily. So the cation layers cannot slide easily. The points whenever I'm giving around 8 points. Out of 8 points, 6 points enough. Okay? So cation layers cannot slide easily. Okay. Then give the uses of steel. So steel can be used for tools, hammers, rail tracks. Because you need the strength. Cutting tools. Tools can be cutting tools, mainly cutting tools. Okay? හරිද? ඔක්කොම ටික තේරුණාද? අර ක්ලෝරින් probability එක පොඩ්ඩක් හිතෙන් අවතක් කරන්න. පස්සේ මම වෙලාවක හිමි. Huh? You understood it. All right. That's good. හරි නේද? ලස්සනට වැඩි ඉවරයි. එබැවින් තව පාඩම් කරන්න. Okay? කරලා දැන් මාක්ස් දාන්න මිස්ටර් මාක්ස් කියලා යන්න. හරියට දාන්න බොරු දාන්න එපා.
Oh, thank you.
Put the paper is out of I think 67.
Yeah.
60? 66, huh? Bad. I am not going to mark. Marking also part of learning.